Norman Sr. breaks down the Boots Ennis ducking Virgil Ortiz. No, it's Eddie Hearn's behind it all. He want Conor Benn to get that belt. Check out what Brian Norman had to say.
Then, I want to make this disclaimer when I come on here. I did not come on here to bash Boots. I did not come on here to talk shit about Boots. I didn't come to bash Boots. I didn't come to do none of the above. I actually have a different opinion than everybody else. I don't think Boots ducked Virgil. I think that Eddie is playing games. I think based on my personal knowledge. Based on my personal knowledge of what I knew and what I started to see with some of the shit that Eddie was doing when we was negotiating, and I was bringing it out and I was screaming at the fucking top of my lungs, and of course, he capped, he lying. I'm like, and you remember me saying how all of a sudden we believe the white man? You remember me saying that shit? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, how the fuck all of a sudden everybody just fucking side with the white man all of a sudden because he gets what the fuck you want to be for? It's Eddie, bro. The whole thing is Eddie, and it's still about the exact same thing. Conor Benn, which ironically was announced the exact same day that Boots' so-called duck Virgil offer was offered to Barrios for Conor Benn. Why? Because Eddie don't give a fuck about Boots. He never gave a fuck about Boots. He was playing him from the start. Again, this is no slight towards Boots. This is none of that towards Boots. From what I seen and from the lies that I know for a fact that Eddie was telling out loud to Boots, I was trying to text his daddy the whole time. And, tell even Jamil at the time, I was just like, bro, he full of shit. And then when he came out and made that statement at the end of the whole hour negotiations and said that we were calling him asking was it still available and we still wanted to fight, I'm like, bro, this man is a bold face. Like, I didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But bottom line is, this whole thing is about Conor Benn. That's it. Bottom line.
It's showtime!
This is exactly what I was saying in my video before when Boots put out that tweet saying that if y'all didn't hear it from me, don't believe it unless I say it. So like I was saying, it's Eddie Hearn's that's behind it all. Eddie Hearn's played on Wilder, and Wilder called him a snake, just like when Wilder was trying to fight Anthony Joshua, right? And then you seen when Devin Haney lost, what he do? Turn his back on Devin Haney, right? Then he jump on Ryan Garcia, the racist bandwagon, right? Then he was talking about Shakur Stevenson, saying that Shakur Stevenson is a boring fighter. I got a video of it. Then he signed Boots only to play on Boots. Yes, he playing on Boots, and Boots starting to see what Brian Norman is pointing out, and Boots is starting to see that now.
He gonna play. It's
1 2 1 2 1 2.
So it's a couple of things. It's a couple of things that happened between that time. You gotta remember, Boots had a lackluster performance in his last fight, right? Right. Yeah, right. So now Eddie is questioning Boots now, just like everybody else, the rest of the world. I always say you can't unhear what you heard. Like some of the things I said about smoke and mirrors, about the hellified matchmaking. If you look in the comments, that's all you see. And I'm like, that's how it is. You cannot unhear what you heard, whether you believe it or not, whether you agree with it or not. You cannot unhear what you hear. That's it. Once it's said, it's said. It's out in the air. You can't unhear it. So with that being said, Eddie hear this shit that people saying about Boots. Eddie hear the same thing. So now you got to think about his worry for losing the Oscar. His worry for losing for Oscar is the biggest thing. That's why he said at that interview, if you lose to him, I'd never talk to you again. That motherfucker wasn't playing. You feel me? So in my opinion, I think he didn't want him to fight him anyway. I personally I don't believe Turkey Al-Sheikh was behind sending that contract at 147. Who has personal dealing with Turkey Al-Sheikh? Eddie Hearn, right? It's a play. He told him to do that. There's no reason for him to do that. There's no reason for them to do that when they know that Virgil Ortiz moved up for the very same reason that he can't make the weight. So, bottom line is, Boots already defended his title. He free of his mandatories and shit. There's no fucking reason he can't go to 154 and fight Virgil Ortiz. I spoke on that too. I said, man, that's a hell of an opportunity. And if he did that, I wouldn't take it as no dunk of us. I wouldn't take it as him leaving one. I wouldn't take it as nothing but him taking advantage of a hell of an opportunity. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, man, I think the whole thing was a play. I think that Eddie told Turkey Alasheet to send that shit for 147 to get this whole thing started up because he know goddamn well that it wasn't going to happen. He might have did it. He might have did it so Virgil could duck. He might have did it so Virgil could say no because I can't do 147.
Okay.
So he might have not been trying to play Boost at that time. He might have been trying to get Oscar them to turn it down to save his own face. But of course, now that it's not happening, it looked like it's backfiring on him, and it's looking like it's Boost that did it. But there's no doubt in my mind that Boost is. I don't think he's afraid of Virgil Ortiz. I don't think he ducked Virgil Ortiz. I think that Eddie got him fucked up and lying to him. You heard him do an interview earlier today. He got him fucked up and he lying to him talking about, even in the interview, he got to make up his mind. He can't make up his mind whether he want to go to 154 or stay at 147. Bitch, he can do both. And you know this. You've been in the game too long to know that he can do both. Boost came out with a tweet. I sent it to you a little while ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a tweet?
Yeah, that was a tweet. Yeah.
And as you see, he said, I didn't even know about the negotiations of certain things and blah, blah, blah. If you don't hear from me. So now he's starting to see Eddie full of shit. That's the same thing I was saying.
Yeah.
Based on what he's saying right there, he's voicing his frustration about lies being told to him. You know what I'm saying?